library friends. I'm Miss Connie from the Hopewell branch, and welcome to another episode of our author study program. Today we are going to learn about Deb Pilutte. She is an author and an illustrator. If you'll remember, author means she writes the stories, and illustrator means she draws the pictures. And in one of these books, she's the author and not the illustrator. In one of the books, she's the illustrator, not the author. In most of the books, she's both illustrator and author. And she writes some really fun stories. I've really enjoyed reading her books, and I think you will too. So our program's going to go like this. We're going to listen to her read her own book, Old Rock, which is one of her newer ones. And then we're going to look at all her books. And the last one I'm going to show you is this one, The Secrets of Ninja School, because that has a craft in the book at the end of the story. And we're going to make the craft that's in the book. And then we'll take a quick look at her website and we'll wrap it up. So I'm really excited for you to learn about this author illustrator today. Let's get started.
Hello, my name's Deb Pilutte. I'm an author and illustrator, and I'm talking to you from my home studio, where I've written and illustrated books like Bear and Squirrel Are Friends, Yes Really, 10 Steps to Flying Like a Superhero, and the one I'm going to read for you today, Old Rock Is Not Boring. Now you can check out any of these books at your library. But first, before we read Old Rock, I'm wondering, have you ever looked under the jacket of a book? Sometimes the front cover is a little bit different. So we're going to peek under Old Rock's jacket today. Let's take the cover off. Well, you can see what the cover is, the front cover and the back cover. And let's take the jacket off. And you can see it's just a little bit different. There are no words. You see the whole scene, Old Rock in the present and Old Rock in the past. It's a fun thing to do, so try that with your books at home or maybe in the bookstore. But library books you usually can't because they tape the jacket down. Okay, so are you ready to read? Let's go. Old Rock Is Not Boring by Deb Pilutte. Old Rock had been sitting in the same spot at the edge of a clearing in the middle of a pine forest for as long as anyone could remember, and even before that. Being a rock seems awfully boring, said Tall Pine. You sit in the same spot day after day, said Spotted Beetle. It's a very nice spot, said Old Rock. Don't you want to go anywhere? Asked Hummingbird. I've flown all over the world and sipped the nectar of exotic flowers. I would surely be bored if I could not fly. I flew once, said Old Rock. Gosh, said Tall Pine. How? Asked Spotted Beetle. Rocks don't fly, said Hummingbird. Old Rock told them about the time in the beginning when darkness was all around. And then I erupted out of a volcano and soared through a fiery sky into the bright light of a new world. So, it was just the one time, said Hummingbird. And now you're sitting here, said Tall Pine. Being bored, said Spotted Beetle. I'm not bored, said Old Rock. Don't you want to see more? Asked Spotted Beetle. If I climbed to the tip-top branch of Tall Pine, I might see a deer mouse nibbling seeds in a nearby tree, or watch ships sailing across the big lake. Old Rock said, I've seen a lot. And Old Rock told them about the time a group of friendly dinosaurs lumbered by, munching every leaf in sight. Then, many years later, a not-so-friendly dinosaur came looking for a meal. And Old Rock says, "No, I haven't seen her." And the little dinosaur says, "Thanks." Time passed, things changed, and the world chilled. Which wasn't too bad, because Old Rock took a ride in a glacier and toured the land. Once the glacier melted, it left me perched at the top of a ridge, and I could see the place where the sky touches the earth. "My, you have seen a lot," said Spotted Beetle. "How unusual," said Hummingbird. "Yes, but that was ages ago," said Tall Pine. "Aren't you bored now? Don't you want to move? My limbs flutter gently in a breeze and dance wildly when the wind blows." Spotted Beetle says, "Hey." "I've never danced, but I'm pretty good at doing somersaults," said Old Rock. Old Rock revealed that after teetering on the ridge for a while, the ground rumbled, and I tumbled and snubbled down, down, down into a valley. Grasses grew, mastodons roamed, and lakes formed. And Old Rock says, "Shouldn't you be roaming?" "I never knew a rock had moves like that," said Tall Pine. "I wish I could have seen those things," said Spotted Beetle. "What happened next?" asked Hummingbird. A pine forest sprouted up around me. One day, a strong breeze shook a pine cone loose. From the pine cone, a seed fell onto the forest floor. I watched that seedling grow to be the tall pine who dances in the wind and keeps me company. Sometimes a spotted beetle wanders along to report all that he sees. And every so often, the loveliest hummingbird stops to rest after a long flight, and she describes the amazing places she's visited. "It's a very nice spot," said Old Rock. "Yes, it is," agreed Tall Pine. "Very nice," said Spotted Beetle. "Not boring at all," said Hummingbird. And that's Old Rock's story. You can turn the page and read about Old Rock's journey and dinosaurs and mastodons and glaciers. This is all in the timeline at the end of the book. So try checking that out. Well, thanks everyone for joining me. It was a lot of fun to read Old Rock with you.
Author-illustrator Deb Pilutte grew up in West Lafayette, Indiana. Her dad taught high school English and was a writer. Her mom was an art teacher until she had children, and then she stayed home. Deb liked to read and draw and play outside, and she said she watched a lot of TV. She gives credit to Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck, as well as cartoonist Chuck Jones and creator and producer of animated TV cartoon shows, Jay Ward, as being her first teachers in storytelling, design, and animation. She started her adult life as a graphic designer, and she worked on projects for a Warner Brothers theme park. She also created toys. She now lives in Michigan. I was able to get this information from the About page on Deb Pilutte's website. We will learn more about her website later. Now let's check out her books. The City Kid and the Suburb Kid, written by Deb Pilutte, illustrated by Linda Black. Two cousins, one from the city and one from the suburbs, spend a day and a night together at each other's house and decide that each likes his own home better. This is a really clever book. There are two stories in this book. When you finish reading about the City Kid, You flip the book over and start from the back cover, and you can read about the Suburb Kid. 10 Rules of Being a Superhero by Deb Pilutte. An instruction manual for aspiring superheroes that follows the adventures of action figure Captain Magma and his sidekick/owner Lava Boy as they outsmart a villainous dinosaur, evade a bee, and save a worm from certain destruction. Bear and Squirrel Are Friends. Yes, really, by Deb Pilutte. Although Squirrel's friends warn him that bears eat squirrels, and Bear's friends remind him that squirrels make a good midnight snack, their friendship remains strong. Idea Jar. Author is Adam Lerhout, and the illustrator is Deb Pilutte. What happens when the story ideas, from a bored Viking to a space robot kept in a teacher's special jar, escape and get rowdy? Now, this is the book that Deb Pilutte just read to us. She's the author and the illustrator, and it is Old Rock is Not Boring. Tall pine, spotted beetle, and hummingbird are certain that being a rock is boring until Old Rock shares what he has seen and done since he first blew out of a volcano. 10 Steps to Flying Like a Superhero by Deb Pilutte. Lava Boy and Stargirl provide instructions for and assistance to their superhero toys as action figure Captain Magma tries to learn to fly. The Secrets of Ninja School by Deb Pilutte. When Ruby's homesickness spreads to other students at Master Willow's School for Ninjas, she uses all of the skills she has learned to help them feel better. And this book includes instructions for making a dragon toy 2 different ways. And we're going to do that right now. In the back of the book, there are templates to make the dragon toy. Since I was using a library book, I took 2 pieces of copy paper and gently traced the pieces of the dragon with a pencil. Then I used the copy paper as my template. Later, I realized these templates are also available to download on Deb Pilutte's website, so you can do it either way. You can make the dragon out of felt or construction paper. If you use felt, you need pins and a needle and thread to sew it. This would be a great project for an older child who is crafty, but I chose the no-sew version with construction paper. So the first thing you're going to do after you cut out all your pieces is glue your pieces where you want them, and then punch the holes all the way around. And there's a front and a back to the dragon because later we're going to stuff it. So that's why you're putting holes in. Then you're going to take yarn and weave it in and out of the holes to tie the front to the back. Be sure to leave an opening by the nose so you can stuff your project. Now, I didn't have stuffing, so I took several cotton balls and pulled them apart, and I used that as stuffing. And then you're going to, after you stuff it, you're going to finish with the yarn and tie a knot in the back. Why did Ruby make the toy dragons? Well, you'll have to read the story to find out. Let's take a quick look at Deb Pilutte's website at www.debpilutte.com. So this is her website. Remember, she's an artist. It's very clever. She has several pages to her website. I've opened up tabs for all of them just to help with the navigation process. But we'll take a look at each of these pages in a minute. In the top right-hand corner, she has a clever little animated section where you can learn how to say her name. So if you click on it, it takes you to a page where you have a P and lute and T. So it's Pilutti, Pilutti. And then it says, do you get it? Pilutti. So that's how you say her name. This is the illustrations page, and you can see Old Rock is the illustration that's showing. Under Old Rock, you can see numbered pages for different illustrations, and you can navigate those using the arrows below the numbers. And then up
toward illustrations, you can see the options. So this is kids, but there's also lettering, postcard projects, and patterns. This is the design page. So she has a lot of different design projects, and you can see those here if you click on the different projects. Then we go to products. So she's created some different products. This is just one of them. They are blocks. Looks like baby blocks, and on the next section you'll see that that's what it looks like when you take it apart. There are other products that you can look at. This is her about page with her self-portrait, and if there are some links at the bottom of that page for interviews where you can get a little bit more information about Deb Pilutte. Then we have her contact information and her email address. Now this is the books page, and this is my favorite page. If you scroll down, you can see some of her books. I would recommend you go here with your adult because there are some printable activities that you can do. And so I would recommend you check that out. Remember, there's the Make a No-Sew Dragon and the template that goes with the Secrets of Ninja School. And then Old Rock has some activities, including make your own rock character and how to draw different expressions. So that would be a fun place to look. Now here's Deb Pilutti's school visits page, and maybe someday your school would like to have Deb Pilutte come visit. Remember, you can place a hold on Deb Pilutti's books by going to our online catalog at mcl.org. And then when they're available, you can either come in on in-person days, or you can schedule a curbside pickup for curbside days. I hope you enjoyed learning about author-illustrator Deb Pilutte. Thanks for watching today, and remember, there are more author study videos as well as other programs for kids on our YouTube channel. Hope to see you soon. Bye.